Hey guys, what up? So this is going to be my 20th place Elfnote Fiendsmith deck profile. We went to the Seattle Regionals this past weekend, and we took this deck honestly as a not last second, but I just decided to go with it this past week because I had most of the cards, so I figured I might as well play it. And it actually turned out to be a really good choice. If you're taking this to a regionals, I'm going to give you some advice on certain things to play and not to play, what worked well, and yeah, just the matchups I had played against and things that worked. The deck was really good. It functioned pretty well since, Fiendsmith was already a heavy part of it. I kind of already knew the lines and what cards I needed to get to allow me to make plays that I needed to make in order to win games. The deck is very grindy, which kind of is more my play style, right? I like decks like this, like Regenesis, decks that can just constantly recur and just always let me allow to play the game, right? Allow me to play the game. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get in the deck profile. I'll explain my ratios as we go along. So we did play 3 of the Engraver. Wanted to max out on Fiendsmith stuff. The Fiendsmith package was 3 Engraver, 1 Lurie, 1 Lacrima, 1 Tract. I think a lot of people were playing this package if they were playing Fiendsmith, just because the full Fiendsmith package is actually pretty good now, and a lot of road decks can get away with playing this. Personally, I think this is the best variation of Fiendsmith at the moment. Fiendsmith, like decks like Fiendsmith Chimera are good. They can bridge into it, but I'm just talking about specifically playing the full package. I think this deck plays it the best, at least for now. Until when Pure comes out, I think we're gonna have some different conversations about whether Fiendsmith is needed in here. But for the time being, it performed well. I made High Wave King as many times as possible throughout the tournament. And then kind of the bridge sort of, I guess, into Elfnote was these guys. If you haven't picked your copy up, in order to play the deck, you do need to have this. It's kind of hard to play without it, but yeah, this was insane. I can tell you how many times I used Theorize to look at the top card of my opponent's deck and bottom deck it if I didn't like it. Though to be honest, it didn't really matter most of the time because they already had a Fua that they hadn't used yet when I used Theorize, and they just drew into another Fua, or if it was like a hand trap, I was already winning, so it's it didn't really matter that much. But if you only want to give your opponent 1 draw, then it can be useful, right? If you know your opponent has a Fua, or if you feel like they have a Fua in hand, and you see their draw is another Fua, and you're only planning on giving them 1 draw, could be worth it, right? But kind of just judgment calls, but it performed really well. Medius was really nice. I actually had a play with Medius against Ollie. Shout out Ollie if you're watching, where Ollie ashed the Fiendsmith Tract, and I had Medius in hand, I had Medius engraved from Theorize, and I only had Medius plus Fiendsmith stuff, but I didn't have any Fiendsmith stuff after Tract, right? After Tract got ashed. But the funny thing is I shuffled one of my hand traps back in with Medius, and then Medius summoned out this guy, right? The Power Patron, and then I was able to just make the the old card, but this Synchro Armades, right? I was able to make Armades, and Armades is Light Fiend, so then you can just literally go full combo both ways from there. So it didn't, long story short, it didn't really matter ashing that, but it's tough to ash in the right spot when it comes to this deck, because there's so many different ways to flex and bend into both engines. So getting on to the second engine, right? We're playing the 2 of the Power Patron, pretty standard. This guy was pretty good. I did accidentally try to Synchro summon in a Synchro 8, with just using him and the 7. I can't do that, right? Doesn't work like that. Or just, sorry, I tried using a synchro summon with these 2. It's not how that works. I do need to find another synchro body, though, that I can use with these 2 to get a generic synchro 8 out there. Maybe considering like throwing a small cool tune package in there. I don't know. We'll find out. But for now, 2's fine. And then to go along with it, we played 3 Elfnote Lucina. Here, I'll move this kind of back a little bit because we also played 3 Elfnote Tania and then the 1 Fortuna. So actually, like, ironically, Tania was like the MVP for the day for the engine itself because Tania, this was actually just okay. Seeing this meant I had to commit my normal summon for this in order to play the game, right? In order to actually do any sort of combos. But seeing this was nice because you summon this out and then you get the spell. The spell sends this, you get this in a non-center column, right? And then you get 2 bodies along with the trap and the spell. So like seeing the Tania was clutch. But like this I actually may still keep at 3, kind of iffy on it, but it's still consistency, right? And then obviously the Fortuna was really good, just being able to set the trap, but you don't need to play more than 1. So the engine, yeah, performed really well for me. And then speaking of which, these 2, right? So first of all, this thing, great, right? Like it's your E-Tele, it's just how you keep bringing the Elfnotes out from deck. But this guy, MVP of the entire fucking round, like this card is insane. In case you guys don't know what this does, right? You send any monster from your hand or field to the grave, and then you special summon an Elfnote with a different attribute than the monster sent. And then on res, if you have a synchro, you can negate a face-up card, right? So what actually happened a lot of times with this was I didn't have a synchro on board, but I did have, where is he? Elfnote Seraphim in grave. So because it negates on res, what happens is I just sent any sort of like monster or hand trap I wasn't using and then reborned it and then negated because I control the synchro, right? But yeah, this card is just insane. This is like literally what won me probably 90% of my games was just because of this card. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't play more than 1 though because you can put it face up. Something else I did consider also was the other Elfnotes trap, the Aristaya of Trust. But I felt like if I was already getting that far searching more than one of these guys, just searching a bunch of Elfnotes, maybe I was already winning. In the pure build, I might consider playing more than 1. In the pure build, I would probably play 3 of the spell, most likely. And then maybe like 1 and 1, just because this is a spell negate too, if you have 3 more Elfnotes. And then it also moves your monsters around, so I considered it. But yeah, the trap is insane. And then we got, for our hand traps, 3 Fua, 3 Pirellia, right? 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Bell. We were on 3 Mourner. I felt like 3 Mourner was really good. And then 2 Ogre. The Mourner, so like the hand trap ratios here, reasoning, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, right? So you put at 16 hand traps. The reasoning behind Mourner is because the attribute mainly. Ash is fine, but the fire is kind of iffy when you're sending stuff to like Reborn. You just want to send a different attribute. So I felt like having 3 wins was great. It gave me the option to special any of the Elfnotes from grave. If I had a Mortar in hand, same with the Light and the Earth, right? But Bell was clutch, right? Like having Bell in my hand all day was insane. I'm definitely bumping Bell up to 3. I'll probably, I don't know, honestly, I'll probably cut like both Ogres and just put them in the side. Or maybe I'll just cut one Ogre and put 3 Bell in because Bell put in work. Bell was just so good. Yeah, so hindsight, probably adding our Bell in. But everything else worked out pretty well. And then to round it off for 30 to 39, 40, Call Line Tactics. This thing won me games, right? Broken. Both these cards need to be banned. They're just game winners. Getting out of the side deck, Droll. I did side this in a couple times and I did see it. I don't think I ever used it though. Just decks don't really lose to it that much right now. I felt like it didn't have as high of an impact, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should have used it more. Who knows? I didn't feel the need for it as much. This card though I did see and use, especially going first. The 3 thrusts and 1 DDG came in handy against the branded matchups, even Dark Lord. I set this against a Dark Lord deck, and that helped kind of protect me, but it didn't really matter because he bricked anyway, so kind of sucked. This card, I definitely just subbing out. I don't know. I didn't go against, ironically, I didn't play against one Radiant Typhoon the entire day. So that's what this was for, was like against their Link 2, if I was going second. But it just never came up. Maybe I'll keep it in, maybe not. It was kind of a test, but I didn't see it. I'll go into the extra deck in a second. Yeah, too evenly, kind of weird, but I was playing Thrust, so I figured I didn't really need it. This was for Lunalight. I wanted to use it against Lunalight. I actually played round 1 and I lost, but because like going first, I had completely bricked, had only hand traps game 1, and then game 2 he like double fooded me. So like I was going first, so there's no reason to set that in. And then yeah, the evenlies came in handy, but they weren't really used. They were honestly more for just generic removal. Never really needed them. Might remove the evenly, to be honest. And then Droplet. Droplet was one of those cards where it's an amazing card, but for this deck, I felt like it just wasn't like great. Because 1, I didn't play Radiant Typhoon. 2, against branded Draco Tail, who I felt like if I was sending cards away, I'm probably losing, especially since they don't have a quick effect to search or anything, right? They're not on summon. So I don't know. The Fiendsmith stuff can play from the grave, but baiting stuff out, getting the branded traps to activate so I can dodge them, it just felt very, very meh, right? Like, I don't know. Droplet's insane, but in the deck I didn't end up wanting to use it going second, just because a lot of the cards I want to have, I want to keep in my hand. Like, I don't know. It doesn't synergize well with the deck, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So even though Droplet is a great card, I probably wouldn't continue to play it in the side for this deck. And before I get in the extra deck, cards I considered was Chaos Angel. I did not play Chaos Angel. Just because, I don't know. I didn't have the room. It was pretty tight, extra deck. But yeah, I don't know. It would have helped for removal and pressure going second. So I think I have to put Chaos Angel back in because the deck does struggle with removal going second. Another card I might consider, like, it's a flex spot, I think. I might take this out for the Chaos Angel, is Genora. Didn't make it once. Like, in theory, I guess it's fine. It's an okay card, but it's tough to make. Like, maybe I just need to think about this more. But I didn't make this once. I actually, that's a lie. I made it once for the memes, but like I was already winning. It's like, okay, on summon you negate everything else, right, on field, and then quick effect, they make them so they can't be used as material, right? Which is fine, I guess. I maybe would have made this more with against Radiant Typhoon, but again, didn't play against Radiant Typhoon. And I felt like if I was getting 3 monsters on, I'm already in a winning spot. So I don't know. I just felt like I didn't really need to make this. If you guys see a use case for it, let me know. Maybe it's better to go into it, but I felt like Chaos Angel is just better. This card I did make twice, actually. Zaylin. Theory was, since it's a Synchro 7, you do make Synchro 7s in this deck, right? And it's the same kind of concept because it's a tuner and one or more synchro monsters, right? So you make it using a synchro, but then like the effect is good to like counter like first effects or chain links or anything like that, but I didn't make it a ton just because it's not like a combo piece or anything. I think I actually only made it once, I think. Yeah, this card MVP though, for sure. This card was part of my end board, helped me stay alive multiple times. Just really, really good end board piece to go into on top of Caesar, High Wave King, right? And then we played 2 of these guys, Seraphim. Also really good. Might not play 2 of, just because, I don't know, if the trap's gone, I guess it might be worth, like if they get rid of the trap and then you need to go into a second one, could be worth it. Not really 100% sure on if I want to play a second one or not, or 1 or 2, because I only really went into 1 the entire time. But I think for now I'll stick with 2 just because, you know, I'm scared the trap's gonna get hit. And then there are Fiendsmith bridges. This is the wrong card. I realized that later. I was playing with -1 in the extra deck, so this was dead. Couldn't use this at all because it needs a Fable tuner. So that is an easy swap for the other Fable tuner, but this guy was sick. Yeah, this was pretty good for me all day. This is how I kept playing with the Medius engine. So like if you start off, if you have Medius plus Fiendsmith, and then you do Fiendsmith stuff, and they Ash, or like they stop your Fiendsmith stuff, you just do Medius stuff, and then you link into him, and then you just do your Fiendsmith stuff anyways, right? Like he's insane. Like this is a really good card to bridge the 2 engines. And then speaking of Fiendsmith, DD Wave made that all the time going first. Lacrima made him to OTK, a branded player. Requiem, that Agnum Day. And then 2 cards I didn't make all day that I am going to probably revisit, I don't know, was SP and Link Spider. SP, just, I don't know. I never really made it just because it felt bad to make. There wasn't any floodgates I needed out necessarily. I really kept this in case my opponent had D-Fisher going first, for the most part. But I don't know. The other one was Link Spider. Honestly, I might sub the droplets for Cosmic Cyclones. And Link Spider was for, like, if I got nibbed, I just link away the Link Spider in case they put the nib in the center column, right? So then I can just link it off and then free up the center column. So that's what the Link Spider is for. And yeah, that's it for the deck profile, guys. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see combos, I can go through combos in my next video. And yeah, I'll be doing an updated deck profile probably for this. Just going through maybe some changes that I threw in there and other synchros or other cards that I think are better. So yeah, thanks guys. Catch you on.